Okay, so we created some examples. First one was with web server, the second one with PubSub, then we connected it together. And we can move to other important features of ASAP, which is, let's say, the first one is logging, which allows you to log to file or to terminal or to whatever service you like, and creates it, and it creates unified text messages. Okay, so the only thing I need to do is to actually import logging, the native Python logging. Okay, so let's move it in the beginning. And then simply get the logger with the name of the file. Okay, so only two lines. Then I can replace all the prints that I have here, which is only one now, with logging. So I just say that or type that it's l.warning and specify the message. Not sure if it will work this way. If it's like shouldn't be like it like string, but let's try it this way. Counter message format. So it will create a string that then I will lock somewhere. Okay. So now when I run it should not crash. Yeah, so you can see like warning in main, like which is like okay, main here, and this is like the log string, so it works. You can see it like here. There are other levels of the log that we can utilize. Here's like the critical level, error, warning, notice, info, debug. Yeah, so like you should like use notices or debugs for developers purposes or for support purposes. The warning should be used carefully because, for example, when you have some cycle, the warnings should or any like logs that like where there is a case that it would like for example the cycle may run a lot of times, and when there is like this warning and the condition is not refreshed, like if there so there is no warning, then like it will like halt the like post multiple messages on the terminal or to the file or to the other log system. So you need to be careful about using logs. So yeah, here's some like configuration specification, how to use it for logging to file. You can also log to syslog, which is a native Unix logging system. So yeah, you can like log to files, or you can log to syslog. This is like the configuration line that you can use. You can also do log rotation. It means that, for example, let's say once per day it will like save the file and do a backup, and it will like keep only, let's say, like 3 backups. So your disk is not full of logs that no one understands. This like logging part is like related to the configuration. So let's move to the configuration now. You can see it's based on config parser, which is like a native Python library, Python standard library to be used. So you can use a file with these specifications, like sections, attribute, the value of the attribute, and you can also like do includes in the file and so on. But what is important here is that you can also place the log into the file, like into the code itself, and to specify some default values, because let's say someone will not like link the configuration file to the application, they will forget, so and then the application would crash if there are no default values, like so let's now put some default values here. I'm not sure what we are going to configure, but let's say we can configure some tag. So tags index hit, index was hit, something like that. And then I can use it in a very simple way here. Okay, so here in this format I can also say that it stacks index hit to make it more nicer. Yeah, so now the default value is that like index was hit, so whenever the index is hit, it will print it with this message. Let's try it. I should run it, right? Yeah, you can see like index was hit, right? And of course I can override the default value either by specifying something like in the constructor here to like redefine the log, the config, or by creating a config file. So I will create a simple text config file. Let's name it siteconf. Usually like name like specific configs like siteconf or something like that. Here I can specify like the same section that I specified in the code and use my own message. And now when I link the configuration file there, I can do it like via this C switcher. And now when I run it, you can see that like it was overridden by this message that I specified in the configuration file I am hit. You see it?
Yeah,
so the only difference is that I created this siteconfig file, linked it to the application, and it overrode this default config.
Yeah, cool.
When I didn't forget to link the file there, it will like print the default message. Should print it. You see it.
Sure.
This was it, so.
Better than throwing errors.
Yeah, better than throwing errors. Exactly.